Well, howdy there, partners. Mosey on over and join us for Bible Stories by the Campfire.
Welcome back. You know, I want you to take just a moment and think about something you're thankful for. We should all do that every once in a while. The Israelites, they had a tough time being thankful. In fact, that's what our story is about today. Now, we know from reading Exodus that God rescued the Israelites from being slaves in Egypt. You see, Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, he didn't want to let them go. So God sent plagues on Egypt. He sent bugs, frogs, darkness, and hail, just to name a few. Finally, Pharaoh surrendered. But God didn't stop helping the Israelites there. The Egyptian army, well, they tried to capture the Israelites when they left Egypt. And God helped the Israelites by parting the Red Sea so they could escape from Egypt on dry ground. Then God closed the sea up so the Egyptians couldn't chase Israel anymore. And while the Israelites traveled, we know that God traveled with them. During the day, he traveled with them as a cloud, guiding them along the way. And during the night, he was a pillar of fire, giving them light. So far, God had performed miracle after miracle, taking care of his people. But it was almost like the Israelites had forgotten about the things God had done. They journeyed through the desert, and as they journeyed, they got thirsty. You see, deserts are really hot, dry places, and you need water to survive. Well, the Israelites had been traveling for 3 days with no water. They came to a place called Marah, and when they finally found a spring, it was sour. Water couldn't be drunk from this spring, no sir. And that's when the Israelites started to whine and complain to Moses. Now Moses, he didn't complain. Instead, he asked God for help. God told Moses to throw a branch in the water. And guess what? That water was changed. It was now good enough to drink. The Israelites finally had water. God helped the Israelites again by providing for their needs. Well, them Israelites, they kept journeying through the desert, and they eventually got hungry. And guess what? They complained. They whined to Moses saying, "Oh, that we were back in Egypt. It would have been better if the Lord had killed us there." They whined and complained. Complained and whined. You'd have thought they'd have completely forgotten about all the things God had done so far. Now, Moses, he didn't complain. Instead, he listened when God said that he was going to rain down food from heaven. The next morning, the Israelites woke up to find something strange on the ground. There was this layer of white flakes. Well, what is it, they asked. Moses explained that it was bread from the Lord. They called it manna, which oddly enough means, what is it? The Israelites were able to gather as much of it as they needed, and no one went hungry. Everybody had as much as they needed. God also sent quail in the evening, and the Israelites had meat to eat. Once again, God had performed a miracle and fed all the Israelites. Well, eventually, the Israelites got thirsty again. And you guessed it, they complained again. Even though God had been taking care of them every step of the way, they still whined. "Why did you ever take us out of Egypt?" Now, they could have been thankful. They could have asked nicely for water. But no, they whined. Moses asked God for help. See, the Israelites had gotten so angry, they were going to stone Moses to death. Well, God told him to do something a little bit different. He told Moses to go and find a rock at Mount Sinai and hit that rock with his staff. Well, Moses found a rock, and he gave that rock a good smack with his staff. Water actually gushed out of the rock. The Israelites had enough water for everybody. Once again, God provided for all the Israelites' needs. You know, God provides for your needs too. And you should be thankful to him for all that he's done for you. And one of the ways that God provides for your needs is through your parents. So why don't you take some time and thank your parents for all the things they've done for you. I'll see you next time.
Thank you for joining us for Bible Stories by the Campfire. Y'all come back now, you hear?